and customer satisfaction doesn't happen overnight and it doesn't happen automatically. So get educated.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Engati CX. I'm your host, Aish, and today we'll be talking to someone who will quite literally take your customer experience to a whole new level. But before I let you know who our amazing guest is, allow me to quickly introduce you to Engati. Engati is the world's leading multilingual no-code chatbot platform, available across 14 channels with 30,000 bots, created across 186 countries in every domain and use case. Engati has been recognized as a top platform by INC.com, TechWorld, CIO, and many others. We run the Engati blog, video channel, and the Engati CX podcast, receiving upwards of 300,000 visitors annually. And now for our guest. As I mentioned, Stacy Sherman is all about taking CX to a whole new level, which isn't surprising, seeing that she's the Director of Customer Experience and Employee Engagement at Schindler Elevator Corporation. She's fearlessly dedicated to humanizing businesses and challenging the status quo to maximize customer satisfaction. When she's not at her day job, Stacy is speaking, writing, coaching about doing CX right, which is a journey-based framework that maximizes satisfaction through a practical approach. She's known for being an authentic change agent, leading inclusive work teams, building winning cultures, and humanizing businesses to drive differentiations beyond price. But before we get the inside scoop from Stacy herself, here's a quick announcement. We have something special for all of you, so stick around till the end of the interview. Welcome, Stacy. It's so great to have you here.
Thank you.
So let me get started with our first question. What role does employee experience play in relation to fostering great customer experience?
It's everything. Without motivated, engaged employees, there is no happy customer, because people buy from people and people trust brands based on people. So the employees, everything starts with the employees. So I always believe that you have to start with the inside and give them the right training, give them the right coaching, give them the right support, and then they'll service the customers and do the right thing even when their boss isn't looking.
Mm-hmm. That's so important. I completely agree with you. So what can businesses do to make sure that their employees are more motivated and engaged?
Yes, so there's a lot of different approaches. I would say start with the basics, right? So take time to really, as leaders, take time one-on-ones with your employees, both as a team, but individually. Every week, there should never be a reason you don't make time for your people. And there's no cookie cutter approach. You really have to listen, empathize, and be there and really hear what they're saying and they're not saying, right? So being there for your employees. And then what's really important also is celebrating successes. And successes don't have to be huge, gigantic wins. There's small things too, and they add up. So for example, if you're doing surveys or customer feedback, oftentimes they'll mention somebody by name. Mm-hmm. And that is a great opportunity to go to the employee or employees and recognize and say thank you. It's as simple as saying thank you and I appreciate you. And it doesn't happen enough. I don't know why, but it has to. It's so basic, but it's meaningful.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree with you. I think, I think that recognition also drives a lot of motivation. I'm not sure if you agree with me or not, but I think it actually helps in boosting efficiency in a way.
It does. I mean, I'm all about humanizing business. And so you can't forget the basics. Like, even though we have technology, which is what your company is all about, right? You've got to use technology to enhance the employee experience, to deliver great customer experiences. But you can't forget that the human element of all of it.
Mm-hmm. So what role does technology, AI, and automation play in helping to help make employee experience better and more personalized?
Yes, so technology is very helpful, especially solving a big need across all industries, which is communication. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Customers want to know updates, status, information, timely and personalized. And so technology allows companies to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it also allows the employees to be able to be more efficient in their jobs so that they could focus more on the relationships. So I love technology. I've worked in technology companies, even where I work now, which is a lot around IoT technology, and it's powerful. But again, it's got to be in balance between the personal relationships and what technology can achieve.
So you mentioned IoT. So how does IoT play into creating a better employee experience? Like, can you
From
provide some examples for us?
Well, in general, like we have different technical solutions tools and platforms that we give employees, and where I work now, but all the places I've worked. And so, by giving the employees the technology in their hands to be able to, for example, service customers, and being able to know if they need a service call or service visit, right? Technology will allow them to know and be proactive with customers before even the customer knows there's a problem. So it allows the employee to be able to build that trust with the customer because they have the information to be proactive. The human, though, has to do something with it. So
Mm-hmm.
just because the technology gives you the information, the onus is on the employee to then follow up and follow through. And that's where customer experience happens. It's not just because the technology gave information.
Mm-hmm. So it's about using the technology to connect with your customers better.
Correct. And allowing the employees to be faster in their work and more efficient in their work so they have more time to
Mm-hmm.
connect with their customers on that human level.
Mm-hmm. I guess that's how chatbots and automation really helps out, because I think it sort of stops um, those repetitive, more monotonous tasks from reaching the employee. I think it takes care of that, so it makes it more exciting and it gives people more reasons to look forward to work.
Yes, agree.
Mhm. So, how crucial is it to build personas for the target audience when it comes to customer experience, in your
It
opinion?
Yeah, it's essential for customer experience, for marketing, for communication departments, all of the above. Because how could you create a message if you don't really know who you're creating it for? So,
Mhm.
persona development is the first step of the CX practice, because then you could create these journey maps of what's that ideal experience for those specific segments. You can't be everything to everyone.
Mhm.
So identifying personas, and there's a real methodical way of doing it. I encourage people to learn how to do it because it can be very meaningful and determine if you're profitable or not, because it starts with going to the right people and understanding their needs. That's the key.
Do you think building personas can lead to increased sales, better CX, and just mass customization in general?
I believe you have to know who your audience is. So yes, persona development is is the beginning before you can go to market or develop products. You have to know who it's for and what problems do they have. So yes, it is essential, and it touches all the different departments, whether you're selling, marketing, communicating, you have to identify the who.
Mm-hmm. Completely agree with you. Do you think personalization helps in humanizing business, and is at a price in your opinion, or?
Well, humanizing business is really about it's about knowing people, right? We're all people. Businesses are made up of people. So what I'm speaking about is yes, it's bigger than price. I always like to use the example of Starbucks. I don't know if that's in your neighborhood, but um, okay. Well, so as I've often said, I don't want to pay triple the cost for a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I go there because of the experience. From the moment I walk in the door and the way they onboard me to how they talk to me, how they say the basics, hello, goodbye, how can I help you? They personalize the order that sometimes I've come in and I said, I don't really know what I want, but I'm interested in trying something new. And they'll walk through and they'll ask me questions and then come up with a recommendation based on really good questions and what I'm looking for. And that's the same model, right? Even when a mistake happens, they don't even challenge the customer. They make it right. And they're empowered. The employees are empowered to do that. So I go on about the coffee experience, but that's the basis of a great experience that is way beyond price.
Mm-hmm. That's brilliant. I completely agree with you, actually. Starbucks does provide an incredible experience. So I think maybe that definitely should be a model for other people to follow.
Yes.
So moving on to my final question, do you have any other thoughts you'd like to leave our audience with?
Yeah, I would say if you're in a company, elevate your skills, get educated about how to apply CX best practices. It doesn't happen, customer satisfaction doesn't happen overnight and it doesn't happen automatically. So get educated. And I would say there's a lot of resources online. There's a lot of information on my blog, Doing CX Right. And there's certification programs too through different universities online as well that I recommend. I talk about that on my blog as well. So get educated. CX is not going away. It's only growing more. And if you're not in a company and you're an individual who are either starting a business or want to get into the CX field, same thing. It's worth investing in your education and talking to people because this is a field that is it is a differentiator. So I highly recommend learning a lot more.
Thank you so much for sharing that and for pointing our audience to some great resources. I'm sure they've learned a lot from you, and your insights were really valuable. So I really think our audience is going to enjoy this interview.
Thank you. Yeah.
So if you've stuck around for this long, we're so excited to announce that our ebook, The Evolution of Customer Experience, is out and available to download. Check the link in the description for more details. We'll be back with a new episode with a brand new expert soon. So stay tuned and we'll see you around for the next one. Thank you so much for joining us, Stacy.
Thank you for having me.